Hello everybody, my name is Nelson. This is my wife, Karen. Together, we are the founder of Functional Training Institute Singapore. We are also the creator of Dual Zone Myofascial Release Methodology and Dual Zone Therapy Ball. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to use the Dual Zone Therapy Ball to release posterior zone 3. For the first minute, you will put one ball right at the socket here, the hip socket, which is the piriformis, to release the tight buttock muscles superficially and deeply. The second ball will be at the rhomboids, which is between the spine and the shoulder blade right here. So for the first minute, you'll be on this position. The second minute, we will shift the ball to your QL, which is below the last rib, followed by your upper trapezius, which is here, the levator scapulae. This posterior zone 3 release is very powerful, will help you to restore your hip movement, relieve your back pain as in your SI joint pain and your lower back pain, restore your shoulder function at the same time, be it hand behind the back or hand across the body, and even relieve your neck pain and improve your neck movement as well. It is important to perform the movement dysfunction screening before and after any release work so that you can experience the change in mobility of the joint. Karen is going to demonstrate to you the movement dysfunction screening for the neck. If you have healthy neck flexion, meaning trying to reach your chin, the collarbone, and you can touch it without any pain, that is good. Followed by neck extension, looking up to the ceiling without moving the rest of the body. A healthy neck extension, your ear in line with the eye should be able to come up to 90 degrees. Third, turn around, is neck rotation. Karen will look to the right. If she has healthy rotation of the neck, you will be able to see her chin and the nose all the time. But if she has limited neck rotation, you will be able to only see the chin without the nose. And you have to do both sides without turning the body and checking whether any pain or discomfort on the neck. And finally, we go to lateral flexion of the neck. If you have good lateral flexion, you should be able to bend 45 degrees on each side of the neck and observe any pain pattern that is happening on the body. It is important to perform the movement dysfunction screening before and after the release to determine how much more mobility you have improved after the release work. One of the movement dysfunction screening I'm going to demonstrate now is called pelvic tilt. So stand, your feet relax with your knee locked. You try to rock your pelvic front and back, mobilizing your lumbar pelvic rhythm. Seeing from the side view, your knees locked, your spine steady, you are moving your lumbar spine and your pelvic, tilting anteriorly and posteriorly. Observing whether you can do both sides smoothly and any pain or discomfort from your lower back, SI joint on one side or both sides, on which direction do you feel pain? And observe down, what kind of pain do you feel? Is it a localized pain or a strong sensation area of pain? Lumbar pelvic rhythm test. It is important to perform movement dysfunction screening before after any release work so that you can observe any improvement in your mobility. The next movement dysfunction screening we're going to do is hand behind the back. So Karen will put one arm behind the back and try to reach the other arm. If you can touch your finger together, that is good. Observe any pain or discomfort on your shoulder, be it posteriorly behind or anteriorly in front. Now, if you are within 5 fingers of distance, you are considered average. If you are more than 5 fingers away, consider poor, meaning your shoulder girdle has a lot of tight muscle that is preventing it from moving freely. It is important to perform the movement dysfunction screening before and after the release to determine whether there's any significant improvement for your release work. So one of the movement dysfunction screening that we're going to perform now is called thoracic rotation. So you can kneel down on the floor, sit down nicely, rest your arms on the shoulder, you take a deep breath, inhale and exhale, turn your head and your shoulder to one side and see what's the range you can perform, and then turn to the other side and see what's the range you can perform. Observe any tightness or pulling sensation or pain across your trunk region and observe down before and after the test. If you have very stiff ankle or knee and cannot do the thoracic rotation test kneeling on the floor, you can sit on the chair, put your legs together so you stabilize your hip as you perform the test again, rotation, and check what's the range that you can rotate and where's the tightness that's locking your body. Thoracic rotation is very improved for sports performance or daily function, all the more so for golfer who need a lot of rotation power. Karen is going to demonstrate to you how to use the ball now. Lying down. Okay. Bend your both knees. Holding to the ball. You're going to throw one ball from the top to find your rhomboids between your shoulder blade and your spine into the position. Yeah. Higher a little bit. And take the other ball and put at the buttocks. Okay. If your neck is very uncomfortable, you can clench your fists to support your head, but rest on the floor, do not lift up the neck. Once you're in the right position, one ball at the buttock at the first position, the second ball at the rhomboids, you will start to move the arm like the picture you see, by moving as far as you can and moving your hip as you come back for 1 minute, and you breathe in and out. You try to flow your movement with your breath. So we are trying to restore hip internal external rotation and also shoulder full mobility again. This is active release to teach your body to register that your scapular and your shoulder joint can move freely again when the muscle start to restore back its elasticity. Now, after the first minute, we're going to change to the second position. So this time, you take the ball out from the buttocks. Okay. You shift down so that the ball go up to your levator scapulae, which is your upper trapezius, which is just right at the tip of the shoulder blade. Make sure you scoop your hair away. Okay. And take the ball, the second one, put below your last rib, which is called the QL, protractus lumborum. This time round, you cross your leg over. Make sure your buttock is floating away from the floor. Okay? And this arm, you bend 90 degrees. When you're ready, you're going to shift your body inwards like this by releasing your QL. The feeling is like someone punching your kidney, pretty sore. Now as you move in and out, you will reach this arm by trying to reach your bicep to the ear and turning externally from here and exhale. So Karen is releasing her neck, upper trapezius, the levator scapulae, which will restore her neck movement, and also her lower back, which is the QL, which will restore her lumbar pelvic rhythm, toe touch, and squatting function as well. You do this for 1 minute. Thank you for watching this short video. I hope it has helped you to live pain-free actively. If you have any other area of pain or movement dysfunction and like to learn more about dual zone myofascial methodology, please visit our website www.fti-lwz.com.